If you want a designer entryway like the one right here, then this video is for you.
Hang on the mistletoe, I'm gonna get to know you better.
Hey, come on, oh,
This Christmas.
let's go.
And as we trim the tree, how much fun it's gonna be together.
We're gonna have some fun, and the party is
This
gonna be
Christmas.
fun.
I've been waiting oh so long.
So long, come on.
I'm gonna dip with you all night
Come on,
long.
come on, let's go.
And this Christmas will be a very special Christmas.
What's going on, beautiful people, and welcome to the channel, but more importantly, welcome to the entryway of my home. Wow, can you believe it? It is almost that time of year. Christmas is just a few weeks away. So that means it is time for us to get those bins out of the attic, get those bins out of the garage, put those Christmas trees up, but more importantly, create some designer looking homes. And I cannot wait to help you achieve that. For those of you that are new here, my name is Carl.Anthonii, and I'm grateful and excited that you guys have joined me today because I am going to be showing you how to create a designer looking entryway. Now listen, it is my belief that your entryway is the welcome letter to all of your Christmas decorations. As I heard someone once say, your entryway is the appetizer to the main course. Well, let me help you create that. For those of you that are new here, I encourage you to go back, look at my older videos so you can see just how great I am at this Christmas thing. Nonetheless, how about the rest of us? How about we take a look at just what this entryway looked like over the last few years? So now that we're all caught up, let me ask you a question. Does this area look a little familiar to you? Well, if you've answered yes, then you are correct because I created this beautiful designer looking garland just last year. I loved it so much that I wanted to carry it over into this year. And the reason why is because it fits right in this year's theme, which is called the Enchanted Forest. And that is where I welcome the outside inside. That is where I want Christmas trees everywhere, reindeer everywhere, the natural textures and tones of the outdoors inside. Now listen, this is nothing that is store-bought. This is created by me because I took my time and I got a little creative. And that is what you are going to learn on this channel. So let me show you just how I started to create this beautiful designer looking garland. So the very first thing that I'm going to do to style my entryway is I'm going to start with what I feel like is one of the most difficult pieces in here, which is to put my garland together. Now, those of you that have watched my videos, you know that I do my own custom garland, and it's completely different most years, and it is not something that you can go in the store and buy. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I do it. I'll give you kind of this step-by-step guide on how I do things. On what I feel is probably the easiest steps that you can do to achieve kind of some of the custom garlands that I've done in the past. So, as you see here, I have many different kinds of garlands. I have this garland here, which is from Hobby Lobby, and it is going to be the foundation and the base of my garland that I'm going to use throughout my entire house. The theme, again, this year is more of the natural kinds of greenery, that forest feel. So this to me is very natural looking. I love the pine. I love the pine cones. It's just so different. And I really feel like it's going to help me achieve the look that I'm really, really going for. I also will be adding probably something like this. This is what I believe is called the Norfolk Real Touch Garland. You can get it from so many different places. I've seen it at Walmart, Kirkland's, Hobby Lobby, Amazon. It's sold a million different places, and I believe it's just really, really popular. I like it because also of the greenery and the texture of it, and so I'm going to be adding this as well. And then I picked this other one up from Hobby Lobby, and we'll see how it looks. One thing I will tell you is I never know what this is going to look like. I honestly don't even know what I'm doing. And not knowing what I'm doing from the stance of I don't know what I'm actually doing, it's just I don't know what it's going to look like. So that's why I'm going to, one thing that I always preach, I'm going to take my time. And I think that's so important when you're doing something like this. So I am going to put this together. I'm going to do my best to work on it today, and I may revisit it tomorrow or the day after just to see how it looks and how it feels and making sure that it is absolutely perfect to me. So I'm going to give you guys the very easy steps on how I do all of this. Number one, I'm going to start with the base or the foundation, which is this garland here. And then I am going to add a few more pieces to it to give it the length. That is most important, is to make sure that you identify what is the length of the garland that you truly want for the space that you're trying to decorate. So we're going to create the length. Once I create the length, then I'm going to hang it. From there, then I'm going to be adding more garland to it to give it that volume, to make it fuller so it's not so thin looking, and to truly give it that custom look. From there, I'll begin to start adding some lights to it. Then once I add the lights, I'm going to be adding some more garland and some more filler to kind of give it more of a custom volume luxe look. That will take me a while to do because I like to fill in the gaps. I like to just add different pieces here and there. And the biggest thing is I just want it to look very different and very custom. I don't want it to look like something that you can buy out of a store. Again, one thing that I've always preached on my channel is just take your time. Sometimes when you look at other creators, or even if you look at my house, some people feel like, oh my God, I can't achieve that, but you can. As long as you are willing to be creative, as long as you're willing to be take your time, you absolutely will be able to achieve this. It is not difficult. But I'm going to show you again, like I do every single year, the step-by-step on how I create this. And then we are going to talk about it at the very end. So wish me luck. Again, I don't know what this is going to look like, but I have an idea in my head. So let's go ahead and get started. So now that I have the length and everything is secure, it is now time to move on to creating some volume, some dimension, and give it a little more texture and make it that luxe look that I'm going for. Now, if you guys saw, as I was putting this up, I struggled with it a little bit because, listen, garland will go all over the place. This thing is heavy, it is massive, and it takes a lot to secure. If you're wondering how I secured it, I used these garland ties, or these banister ties, I believe is what they are called. They are from, I've got them from At Home. You can also get them from Amazon. I also used a little bit of string as well. This definitely helps to secure everything in place. This is just giving me that extra leverage that I need to make sure that everything is double secured. Now listen, if you learn nothing else from the last step, it's you have to teach this garland what you want it to do. You own it, show it that you are the boss. This garland will try to go every which way that it wants to. That's okay. Control it, get it to the place that you want to, secure it down as tight as you possibly can, and trust me, it will work out for you. You just have to show it a little bit of control. Again, take your time with it. Now that the length, the volume, and the texture, or at least some of it, has been added, it is now time to move on to lights. So I'm going to be using these lights here. I got them from Walmart. They are the random twinkle cluster lights. I'm going to add them throughout this garland, and then I'm going to add on some more traditional warm white lights to it. So let's see how that part turns out. So now that I have the lights added, it is time to fill in all of the gaps and add a little more volume and texture to this. So this is one of the last and final steps. You do know that creating a designer looking home isn't difficult, right? It's actually quite simple. As long as you have a vision and purpose and you intentionally are placing things in the right spaces, you too can have a designer looking home, especially for Christmas. For example, when I create my entryway for Christmas, I want it to be an experience. I want it to be a moment. I want my guests to be wowed. I also want a garland that doesn't look store-bought. I want a garland that's not thin. I want a garland that is truly a moment on its own. That's my vision and purpose. And then I intentionally place things into certain spaces to create the overall look and really help to lift my theme off the ground. For example, as you saw, I hooked multiple different types of garland together. And then I added a few different kinds of garland pieces in between to give it some more volume. And from there, I began to start adding these wild berries everywhere from the outdoors. I have gold branches right here. Gold branches, y'all. That is truly what makes this garland magical and so unique and so different. But you know what else makes this garland really pop? It is these lanterns right here. Helping to light the way in our Enchanted Forest are these very beautiful and oversized lanterns in which I picked up from Home Goods a few years ago. Now, would you believe they were actually black and silver when I first got them? I added a little bit of spray paint and I brought them to life. Now listen, when I was creating this space, I thought, what can I do a little different? Now last year I had my little reindeer sitting right here and it was so beautiful, but I wanted to do something just a little different. And then I had this aha moment and it was, we need light in the Enchanted Forest, and that is why I added these lanterns. Oh my God, they truly create such a beautiful and unique moment right here in this space. Now, let's talk about creating a moment. Let's talk about the moment happening right behind me. Would you take a look at all of this beautiful Christmas magic happening right here? Oh my God, talk about a statement tree. This tree right here is actually the first introduction to a tree in my home, and it is from Walmart. Now, it doesn't come this way. I actually filled it in with a lot of different sprays to give it some more volume, some more texture, and kind of change the structure and the dimension of it, just to give it a more impactful look. I added these sequence little flowers right here, and then these enchanted berries, all of which can be found on my tree and in my garland. Talk about being creative. Now, the pot that it sits in, would you imagine that it once lived on my front porch? And then it lived on my back porch. And now it has a new life right here in this space. Talk about bringing the outside inside. I partnered it with some pine cones and some ornaments in this little wooden bowl, which I used last year. And then I added this very special and beautiful reindeer right here. Now, would you imagine this reindeer actually looked completely different? I always talk about changing the color of something, spray painting something. If you don't like it, getting creative, getting unique. I live and breathe that on this channel. Let me show you just what this reindeer right here used to look like. Aha. Can you believe that that reindeer once looked like this? Talk about a change of scenery. Talk about being creative. Talk about being different. That again is something that I encourage you all to do during your Christmas season. Listen, things don't have to be the standard. Things don't have to be the norm. You can do things all completely different in your home. And that helps you to create a designer look. Listen, a tabletop tree that is less than $100 at Walmart, a plant pot that I already had, leftover ornaments and some pine cones, and a reindeer that I spray painted, all create a designer, impactful look in the entryway of my home. hope that you gained just a little bit of inspiration from this video to start creating some designer entryways in your homes. For those of you that are new here, I hope that you would consider subscribing to the channel because I cannot wait to show you more. And speaking of more, I cannot wait to show you what is just beyond this camera. As always, don't forget to like, comment, but most of all, share this video. I am so excited about what's up next for this Christmas season. So everyone, as always, don't forget to stay beautiful.
His head.